one of the challenges as a young mom has been, maintaining my social circle. I'm now 41 years old and my son is 24 years old. And my friends are now just beginning to have children or have young children. And, the types of things that we enjoy are different too, because they want to do things with their kids. They're on the Santa Claus ride, the train tracks, going to the pumpkin patch, where my son has no interest in that. My son doesn't even want to hang out with me sometimes. So, it's hard to balance that type of life now where your social circle looks different. And how do you maintain that relationship with those type of friends? And then also bringing in new friends to meet you where you're at in terms of your social life. And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Hello, beautiful people. It's Wendy again.
And it's Hazel.
And we're from
Big Girl Interrupted.
And our question is always,
what's interrupting your life?
So the topic for today is really kind of dear to our hearts. Mm-hmm. It's having grown children and the rest of your friends have younger children. How do you manage that?
Yeah. So studies have shown that people who reach in their 30s start to value the quality of their friendships rather than over the quantity of their friends.
Right. Because back in the day, it was all about how many you had, right?
Yeah.
And really, has that changed? Because social media, we want all those friends on our social media, right?
But it's virtually. We're seeking that virtually. And
I would argue that virtually is do you know how people are literally putting their value in that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even no matter how old you are, I think we all look for likes. Did anybody like this? If not, oh no. But that all aside, this, like I said, this topic is near and dear to Hazel and mine heart because we're both have in common that we were both single moms really, really young. Mm-hmm. Hazel had her son when she was 16, and I had my son when I was 18. And it definitely put a wrench into some friendships. And not that I don't love all my friends' kids, I just want to make that very clear. Because if they're watching, I want them to think that I'm speaking ill of their children. I love all of your kids. But when you have that child and he's grown, my son's 28 years old.
Right.
Some of my friends' kids are only 10 and 11 years old right now. And it poses the problem because they need to look for babysitters and you don't get to have that one-on-one time with them anymore. And you miss that.
Right.
And then if you want to have that conversation with them, it's so uncomfortable. Because how do you say, hey guys, I want to hang out with you and not your kids right now?
Right. So I guess for us in the place that we are is, do you go out and seek a different type of social circle and have now you're developing another type of you're having your friends who are been your backbone forever
and you don't want to lose
them. No, you don't want to lose them, but you're in a different place right now in your life and you want to go out, you want to do new experiences, even though you would want to do it with those friends. Unfortunately, they're not able to do it.
Right. And I mean, some of, our kids are even past their teen years. They don't need us at all.
No.
They'd really prefer probably, we're in that stage of, if we get a phone call, we're like, yes! He called!
Or a text, you get all excited.
Yes. And those of you that have children our age will understand that 100%. So how do you maintain friendships without feeling guilty that your friend can't spend time with you anymore in the way that they used to? I know that both my best friends both have kids that are quite young still. And it was, I'm hoping that this doesn't touch a nerve on anybody, but I know, like I said, I was there for most of the births. I'm, the godmother of one of them. I was there for my best friend Melissa's, the birth of both of her children, and I feel very connected to them.
Yeah. But
sometimes I don't want to share my friend.
And I think that's a natural feeling, and I think it's important that you feel that. And I also feel like it's important that they know that, right? Because at least now you're going through it. So when they get to that stage, you're there to support them. So I don't think it's anything ill. I think it's just, one, it's a stage of life that we all have to go through.
That's very true. We just got to go through it quicker.
Yeah. So we're done with the diapers.
And the benefit of that is now we're in our 40s.
Right.
And we get to go do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We are not advocating for you having children young. Anybody that's watching.
No. But you don't, and the thing is when you're living through that whole process of having a child young, you have to remember, my friends, some of my friends didn't have children, right? And then some of my friends did have children.
And so how hard was that for them, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because then you were the person that needed to, even in a 16-year-old, and you were out doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So that would still pose its own problem, I guess, right? Too.
Yeah.
I don't remember back then.
So it's all about, what is it? Balance. I think.
See, we're both on the same wavelength there. It is
I think it's about balance, and just, being able to give your friends who have children some time, and then also making sure that you have time for developing other types of relationships, and that's okay. I think that's
sometimes it can cause conflict, I think, when you step outside of that tight little knit of friends, especially when you're so close and now you're kind of branching out a little bit. I think it can cause a little bit of hurt sometimes.
Yeah. Or you don't invite them. That's where the hurt comes in, I think, is when they don't get invited. Or why didn't you can still ask me even though you have kids, right?
Right.
And I think that's just something, an ill thought that we forget as people who don't have children. It's not about leaving you out. It's about, we don't have those types of responsibilities anymore. We don't have to figure out a babysitter. And that process, those steps and that process doesn't have to happen for us. But for you, it has to happen. And it may take longer for you to get back to us to say yes. So we just don't ask you.
We forget sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're sorry for that, because that was a little bit asshole-ish of us.
Yeah.
That's a new word, just so you know.
We try best.
I've just created a new word.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to know, like, because most of my friends have little ones, sometimes like it works in reverse too, because like now, again, I'm close to all their kids. We're like the weird aunt and uncle. We have no kids to bring to their birthday parties and stuff, right? How do you go to those?
No. Actually don't get invited.
Oh no, we used to get invited. It's slowly declined. I'm wondering if maybe because we look like weirdos. This is giving me a whole new thought process.
But now that's your friends who are your close ones have their own little social circle with all the friends that have kids,
all
right?
Moms,
all the mom groups.
Moms, yeah. It's true. Huh. Who knew?
I know.
Who knew growing up would be so damn hard? Right?
Yeah.
Do you find it hard? I would really be interested to know, which side of that fence are you on? Mm-hmm. Or what about people that just don't have kids period. And don't have that understanding, or because I think having kids, at least it gives us an understanding, and some people choose not to have kids, which is totally fine. Right. What do you do when your social circle starts to have little ones?
Yeah. And kids are not something that's on your radar or something you're interested in.
Mm-hmm. Not to say that you don't like kids.
It's just that you don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Some may even say smart.
You got money.
Yeah. So that's my posing question to you guys this week. Which side of the fence are you on that one? And if so, how do you maintain that? How do you maintain your friendships in and out of that realm of things? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Let us know.
Yeah, comment below. Send us a DM. You can even send us an email. We want to keep this conversation going and keep interrupting it. Let's interrupt this pattern.
Because having friends is important.
Yeah.
And socializing is important, and we don't want people to get lost. And having those difficult conversations, maybe that's a part of it too. Mm-hmm. Having difficult conversations in terms of what you need and what you want out of a friendship.
Yeah.
Right? And on vice versa, what they need from you, right? Because I don't think that, and so this is going to put me into really bad territory, because I don't think me and my friend Melissa have ever had that conversation.
But maybe this is the platform that you've
So Melly P.
You can have this conversation now,
Just
right?
so you know, sometimes I miss you.
And that's how it starts.
Yeah. And if your friendship is strong enough, it's going to withhold that difficult conversation. I mean, she knows I love her kids. I love all of my nieces and nephews, and those friends of mine, that's what they are to me. They're their auntie, right? So, yeah. So let us know. We want to know. Because we definitely think it's an interruption. And again, what's interrupting your life?